Hi guys, so I've not done a review video in a while. I've been really busy over the summer filming some weddings, but that's given me a lot more experience in using the lens I'm going to give you a review of today. It is my absolute, without a doubt, favourite lens I've got, particularly on a crop sensor like the A6000 that I've been using recently. I've just upgraded to the Sony a7 III, which is what I'm filming this on just now. So it's sort of just a test video with that as well. But the lens I'm talking about is this, the Sony 70-200 f4 lens. The reason I love this so much is how versatile it is. It can be used for so many different purposes, from portraiture, sports photography, weddings, and people will probably say f4, is that fast enough for shooting weddings? For me it is. I've been doing video for weddings. I do have a couple for photos coming up, so it'll be interesting to see if I find it fast enough for that, but I certainly don't think I'll have any issues with it. Most of the ceremony stuff has been daytime, and so when it comes to the ceremony, great to have it up at the back as my safe angle. I'll put some sort of clips overlaying at the moment to show some sample footage of this lens being used for weddings. Later on in the wedding day, you've then got the speeches, and on the A6000 it's been fantastic to get that extra reach, be able to get up nice and close to the speaker without being obtrusive and disrupting the speeches themselves. So for me, absolutely fantastic for weddings. I've used it at every wedding I've been at except the one at Dunnottar Castle, which was an elopement wedding, so my tripods were a lot closer to the bride and groom there, so I didn't need the additional reach that the 70-200 gave me. When it comes to sports photography, I've done quite a lot of that recently, and obviously again the extra reach on the A6000 being a crop sensor. Effective focal range is about 105 up to 300, and being able to get in extra close for some action shots has been brilliant. F4 has been fast enough during the day as well. Typically go for at least 1/1000th of a second shutter speed for my sports photography, but typically during the day you're looking at 2000th of a second. For the evening games, I've done a couple of evening games, and I've had to get quite close to the limits of what I would be comfortable shooting at, so around 1/800th of a second, sometimes down to 1/500th. My ISO being up at about 3200, which is for sports probably the limit of what I would push on the A6000. So a little bit more limiting for evening games where the sun tends to dip away second half, but no, as I say, absolutely fantastic lens for sports as well. I've done a couple of portraiture shots with this. I'll throw them up over the screen just now, but typically that's been more for video work during an event, like the DJ work I've been doing over the summer as well. And it's got optical steady shot inside it, or OSS, or stabilization. So on the A6000 it's been pretty comfortable hand holding it. I'll throw up a couple of clips now of me using this handheld. Obviously not going to get perfect stabilization with it, but more than good enough to eliminate any of that sort of shake that you might get with a non-stabilized lens, even out at 200 as well. It has two different modes for stabilization as well. Option one is for if you are not moving, and then option two is if you yourself are moving. So if you're panning, keeping track, for example, of sports photography, I tend to have it sitting in mode 2. But to be honest, I've not really noticed any difference in the work I've done between mode 1 and 2, so I tend to stick it in mode 2 all the time as well. You do have switches on the front to switch optical steady shot off, so if you were doing any long exposures with this or something tripod related, then you might want to switch that off. It's really handy having that on the lens because it saves you having to dig into the menu system and find it there. You've got an autofocus manual focus switch, which is handy, but I do have one of the custom buttons set to autofocus, manual focus on the body itself, so because some of the lenses don't have that switch, but does give you that option if you don't have a custom button set to autofocus, manual focus. And the last switch you've got on this lens is the focusing range, so you can have it set to full, where the lens will go through right from its closest focus distance right up to infinity, or you can go from infinity to 3 meters away, so it cuts out that first 3 meters of focus distance, and it'll allow you to focus a little bit quicker. So if I'm shooting sports photography, I will tend to have it in the 3 meters to infinity, because it'll have less time hunting and finding focus. And I'll tell you what an unbelievable job the A6000 does for picking what to focus on in sports. I have it set on wide, so it covers the it basically lets the camera pick what it's going to focus on, and incredibly it just seems to hit what I'm after every single time. I don't know how the technology works, but it's just absolutely brilliant. The lens itself, the other thing about it is it's not that heavy. I'll put the weight up on screen just now. So when it comes to mounting it on the A6000, obviously it's going to be front heavy, but it's not front heavy to the point where you feel like you're going to damage the mount. It's also got an internal zoom on it, so the lens never changes in size when you zoom from 70 to 200. Really nice and smooth. It's got an even smoother focus ring on the end there for manual focus. Haven't used that with this because generally I'll be using this for things that are either video related, or if it's a sports photography, the autofocus on the Sony does great. It's also got 3 customizable buttons on the lens itself. I don't tend to use these, but you could program them to whatever you like. And a nice lens hood it comes with, which has a really good build quality to it, and a nice felt inside as well. So although this lens is quite expensive at £1,100 at the moment, you do feel like you're getting the benefit of that money. They've not cut any corners with this lens. It's incredibly sharp. All the pictures I've put up, the sports photography pictures, would be at f4 to try and let as much light in and let me get that shutter speed right up. So from there you can probably see just how sharp this is at f4, and stopping it down you're going to get even sharper. But yeah, really no issues there whatsoever with sharpness. Wide open, and the element on the front is a 72 filter thread, so that's quite a common size. Quite a few of my lenses have that 72mm filter thread, so handy because the filters are not that expensive, and you'll probably find you've got another lens that those filters can work with as well. So if you were looking at doing any video work with this in broad daylight and wanting to shoot it wide open, filter would come in handy there, or for your long exposures as well. Other than that, not too much to say about this. The last thing I would say is it does have a lens collar that is really easy to attach to. It just wraps itself around the end of the lens, clicks into place like so, and then you've got this wee knob to tighten it up and secure it. I've got my quick release Manfrotto plate on the bottom. Is it Manfrotto? No, I can't remember who makes these. Quick release plate on the bottom there that I use with all my tripods, and so fantastic for weddings. So I'll pop this in, and the body of the A6000 is so light that it balances really well, and you feel like it's quite well balanced when you're using the lens collar. So other than that, nothing else to say. If you've got any questions or any feedback on this review, please let me know in the comments. Any likes if you found this useful will be much appreciated as well. And I'm planning on doing another few reviews of all my Sony gear when I find the time. So I've got quite a lot of aps-c glass, so if you do have an a6000 up to the a6500, consider subscribing, because when those videos come up you might find a lens that could be useful for you. And I will put the affiliate link as well for this in the description box below if you found this useful enough that you would decide to purchase it and help me out. That would be great as well. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Till next time.